I would say that ChatGPT is the answer to your question, why now? ChatGPT, and what does the GPT stand for, guys? If you
Generative, pre-trained, transformed.
Thank you, okay. It's basically, you ask it questions, you talk to it, it talks back as if it's human. I think it's at the point, so he had talked about Alan Turing earlier. Alan Turing's goal was to make computers to the point where they're indistinguishable from human, at least in conversation. And that had always been the goal of, once we do that, then we know we've reached what they called AI. Now, the funny thing within programmers is, like, once you're able to do something, it's no longer AI. They just call it software because they've already reached it. And AI is still something that they're grasping towards. I mean, we might talk about that later. But as far as the why now, ChatGPT is for the first time, it's plain language. It is, what's the name of the, in Iron Man that he's like?
Oh, Jarvis?
Jarvis. It's the Jarvis.
Yes.
It's, you ask it questions. It doesn't just come back with Google entries like our Dots or Siri does. It understands human speech, and it comes back to you with human speech as if it was in the conversation. And I think that happening made people think, oh, wait, wow, I think we're here. I think this thing has... There's actually a programmer at Google back in 2019. They were working with an early model of this. And the programmer's name was Lemoyne, and he ended up really thinking this thing was alive. And they ended up getting a lawyer to try and figure out how we can give it rights and how we, like, it went that far. And it's just scary.
Laugh, but that's not crazy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, logically, people will take it there.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think with this new technology, plain language, being able to speak, have it speak back, feeling as human as it does, is why we're having this conversation right now.
Yeah. Well, the thing, let me just mention before Chris answers that this is where it kind of hit home for me, because I was watching a discussion with Eric Schmidt, who used to be the head of Google, and it was a wide-ranging discussion, but one thing he mentioned that they're working on is to have basically toys for kids, like a teddy bear that can talk to your child and can interact with your child. So what does that do for a child's understanding of relationships? And maybe not my kids, but maybe my grandkids, you know? How do you think about that? Well, we'll get to the human question in just a second.
They have horror movies about that kind of thing, by the way.
Yes, and crazy movies.
So, to give you some idea, if you were to go home to ChatGPT, it's run by OpenAI, and be able to, what can you do yourself at home? So I gave some ideas. You can use plugins to use ChatGPT. You can just text with it. It'll keep context. It'll know what it told you before. It'll know the information you've told it before, and it's just a rolling conversation with it. It understands what you're trying to do and what your motivations are based on your different questions you've given. But you can use plugins to do things like image generation, sound generation, that type of thing. You can upload a picture of your refrigerator. Open your refrigerator, take a picture of it, and say, ChatGPT, what are some recipes I can make from the food that I have in my fridge?
That's cool.
How cool is that? Or a little scary. Or, you saw my refrigerator.
And then it tells you that milk is 5 days over expired.
I see the expiration on the milk, and you need to get a new one. Yeah. Or maybe you saw my refrigerator a couple of weeks ago, or what different things I like keeping in my fridge. What do I need? What's my shopping list next time I go to the shopping center?
Or maybe I should add some vegetables to my diet.
Exactly. Remember that problem you were having? Well, get some vegetables, right? You can give it a document and ask it to summarize the document. Like if you have a real long document, you're like, oh, I do not want to read this. Give it to ChatGPT and say, give it to me in 10, 15 bullet points of just the key features and summarize this document for me. It'll do that really, really well. We had it review some of our some land right documents for our house in Somerville, and it came up with some great insights and advice. You can interactively create stories, songs, poems, games, as Eric showed earlier. To those games, you can use plugins to create music and sound effects for this game. So that's pretty interesting. You can ask for a video demonstration for creating your favorite dish. All the recipes you ask from what's in your fridge. You can go, I'd love to make ratatouille, but I don't know how to do it. Can you give me a video of that? And with some of the plugins, you can have that happen. You can describe an event, and ChatGPT can suggest an outfit. Right? That's right. That's right. The next step with plugins, you can virtually try on this outfit, or create a shopping list if you're going somewhere or going on a camping trip, and you're like, well, I want to make sure I have everything taken care of. It can do that for you. Oh, I'm so sorry. So a plugin is a program that ChatGPT that we discussed can talk to and say, you know, I can get it this far, but I need something else, another program to be able to help me to do other functionality that I wasn't designed for.
Yeah.
So it knows how to talk to other programs.
So the thing about artificial intelligence right now is that, like you had said earlier, it's very specialized on a thing. You could teach it to play chess, but it will only know how to play chess. In fact, I've seen games of ChatGPT against another thing in chess, and it was making up moves. It was like, you know, pawn moves to here. It's like, no, you can't do that. It was ridiculous. But
tic-tac-toe, it has X's outside of the, of the square, right?
But it's called bias, okay? And us, I mean, obviously everybody has some sort of a bias, but the fact is, as humans, we can take in information from anywhere and know how to handle that. Right now, where AI stands, it's very, it has its lane and it stays in that lane. And if you ask it something outside that lane, it can't perform it. And so what these plugins do is like, if I want one that will help me to program better C# programming, then you put this plugin in and it'll be able to help you with that better, that kind of thing.
Good.
So let's.
Yep. Do you mind?
I don't mind at all.
I think you gave us a good lay of the land on that one.
Unless you have a good
one more. I have a really good
Okay.
one. If you have a DIY project, you can say, this is what I'm trying to do. Can you please give me step-by-step instructions on how to do it?
Yeah.
My car's making this such noise. Can you give me some ideas of what it might be?
So you
It's
don't
crazy.
have to ask Dad anymore.
Right.
You just had ChatGPT.
Right. Easy as that.